the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, where legends are made and dreams come true. This is a place where history echoes through every grandstand, and the roar of engines has become a timeless anthem. From the moment you step onto these hallowed grounds, you can feel the weight of greatness in the air. For decades, the world's best drivers have come here to test their skill and courage. Each year, they arrive with hopes of etching their names alongside the legends who have conquered this track before them. The anticipation, the nerves, and the excitement are all part of the Indy experience. The yard of bricks at the finish line represents history, tradition, and the ultimate prize. Every driver dreams of that moment, crossing the line and kneeling to kiss the bricks, joining a tradition that stretches back generations. Winning at Indy isn't just another victory. It defines a career. It's a moment that lives forever in the hearts of fans and the memories of those who achieve it. The Brickyard is where reputations are made and legacies are cemented. On July 27, 2025, the Brickyard 400 set the stage for one of the season's most thrilling races. The grandstands were packed, the energy was electric, and the stakes had never been higher. Fans from all over the country gathered to witness history in the making. Bubba Wallace, in the number 23 Chumba Casino Toyota, arrived with something to prove, not just to himself, but to the world. He carried the hopes of his team, his fans, and everyone who believes in breaking barriers in motorsport. His team, 23XI Racing, co-owned by Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin, was built to change the sport and win at the highest level. With every race, they pushed the limits, determined to make their mark on NASCAR's biggest stages. The sun beat down, the track was slick, and every driver wanted to kiss the bricks. The heat added another layer of challenge, testing the endurance and focus of everyone behind the wheel. For Bubba, the goal was simple: stay out of trouble, keep the car clean, and put himself in position when it mattered most. Every lap was a battle, every corner a test of nerve and precision. Be there at the end, survive the chaos, and seize any opportunity that came his way. At Indy, fortunes can change in an instant, and fight for the win. Every position gained was a step closer to glory, every move on track a calculated risk. With the playoffs looming, every point mattered, especially for drivers near the cut line. The pressure was immense, and the margin for error razor thin. The stakes at Indy had never been higher. For Bubba Wallace and every driver in the field, this was more than just a race. It was a defining moment on a legendary track. Victory in NASCAR is never easy. Every lap is a battle, every second counts, and the margin between triumph and heartbreak is razor thin. The roar of the engines, the pressure from the crowd, and the relentless competition make every race a true test of willpower and skill. For Bubba Wallace, the journey to the top had been especially long and demanding. He carried not just his own hopes but the expectations of his team, his fans, and a sport looking for new heroes. It had been 100 grueling races since his last win at Kansas in 2022, a drought that weighed heavily on his mind and on the minds of everyone at 23XI Racing. There were so many close calls, races where victory seemed within reach, only to slip away in the final moments. Frustration, heartbreak, and bad luck tested Bubba's confidence and resolve at every turn. But through it all, Bubba and the entire 23XI Racing team never stopped believing in themselves or in each other. Their unity and determination became their greatest strengths. This win, his third career victory, was more than just a number. It was a powerful statement to the world that hard work, faith, and perseverance pay off. It validated the team's relentless work, their countless hours in the garage, and proved they were a true force in the sport, capable of overcoming any obstacle. The road to victory was filled with setbacks, crashes that left cars in pieces, failed strategies that cost precious points, and tough lessons learned the hard way. But each challenge only made them stronger. Every disappointment was a lesson, refining their teamwork, sharpening their focus, and building a car Bubba could push to the absolute limit. This wasn't just one good day at the track. It was the result of years of effort, sacrifice, and resilience. Every early morning, every late night, every ounce of sweat and determination led to this moment. For Bubba, the win was a massive relief, a weight lifted off his shoulders and a surge of confidence for the future. It was proof that persistence pays off. Celebrating with his family in Victory Lane, the moment was about so much more than a trophy. It was about perseverance, the power of belief, and the sweet taste of long-awaited success shared with those who matter most. This win proved that if you keep pushing, keep believing, and never give up, even the longest road can lead to victory lane, and dreams really can come true. As the race neared its end, tension built with every lap. Bubba Wallace had taken the lead, holding off Kyle Larson in a classic duel. The crowd was electric, sensing a dramatic finish. But with 4 laps to go, rain struck, forcing a red flag and halting the action. Engines fell silent and drivers faced the agony of waiting. For Bubba, the delay was a mental test. Would the race restart, or would rain steal his chance? His crew chief, Booty Barker, kept him focused and calm. The track crew worked furiously to dry the surface as suspense grew. Finally, the call came. The race would resume. The field prepared for a frantic overtime sprint. The rain had changed everything, cooling the track, bunching the field, and setting up a wild finish. Bubba now had to defend his lead through the chaos of a late restart. Victory was close, but far from certain. The first overtime restart was chaos. Bubba Wallace got a great jump, but behind him the field erupted. Cars went 3 and 4 wide, desperate for position. Just as Bubba pulled away, a multi-car crash brought out another caution, forcing a second overtime. Anxiety spiked for Bubba's team. Could they make it on fuel, or would they risk it all by staying out? They gambled, keeping Bubba on track. The final restart loomed, 2 laps to decide the Brickyard 400. Bubba lined up beside Kyle Larson, the season on the line. The green flag waved for the last time. Bubba needed a perfect start, flawless execution, and just enough fuel to reach the checkered flag. The tension was unbearable as the cars thundered toward the finish. Every decision, every second mattered. The hopes of a team and a driver came down to this moment. Would Bubba's gamble pay off? The answer was just 2 laps away. In the most intense moments, Bubba Wallace showed the focus of a true champion. His eyes never wavered, his hands steady on the wheel, even as the world around him seemed to blur with anticipation and nerves. Every breath was measured, every thought tuned to the race ahead. While chaos erupted, he stayed calm and composed. Cars spun out, tempers flared, and the pressure mounted, but Bubba remained unshaken, his mind locked in on the task at hand. In a sport where a single mistake can end your day, his ability to keep cool was remarkable. During the rain delay, he conserved his energy, listening to his team and staying ready. Instead of letting frustration take over, he used the downtime to visualize the laps ahead, mentally rehearsing every move he'd need to make once the green flag dropped again. Leading the final laps is one of the hardest things in sports. Every corner, every straightaway, pressure mounting, the roar of the engines, the vibration of the car, and the knowledge that every driver behind you is hungry for your spot. It's a test of nerves and skill. Bubba handled it perfectly, driving with confidence and precision. His lines were clean, his throttle control flawless, and his focus never faltered, even as the laps ticked down and the tension grew. His communication with crew chief Booty Barker was seamless, clear, calm, and built on trust. Every message exchanged was purposeful, every strategy discussed with mutual respect, showing the strength of their partnership. When they gambled on fuel, they did it together. It was a bold move, requiring total faith in each other and a willingness to risk it all for victory. The final restart was the ultimate test. Larson on his outside, no room for error. The tension was electric, the crowd on its feet, knowing that a single misstep could cost everything. Bubba nailed the start, defended his line, and managed his car with veteran poise. He anticipated every move, countered every challenge, and refused to give up an inch. He blocked out the noise and focused on one thing: finishing first. The cheers, the doubts, the pressure from the outside world faded away as he zeroed in on the finish line. It was a display of pure driving talent and mental strength. Every decision was made in a split second, every maneuver executed with total commitment. In those final laps, Bubba proved he belonged at the front. He showed the world that he could handle the pressure, lead the pack, and rise to the occasion when it mattered most. He was ready for his moment, and when the checkered flag waved, he seized it with the heart of a true champion. The final 2 laps were a breathtaking duel. Bubba Wallace led, but Kyle Larson was relentless, trying every line, searching for a way past. It was a battle of speed, strategy, and nerves. As they entered the final corners, Larson made one last move, closing in on Bubba's bumper. Bubba held his ground, driving a perfect defensive line. They raced side by side, thrilling the crowd. In a finish for the ages, Bubba crossed the line just 0.222 seconds ahead. Cheers erupted. Bubba had survived rain, crashes, and 2 overtimes to win the Brickyard 400. He'd stared down one of NASCAR's best and didn't flinch. Denny Hamlin finished third after starting from the rear, with Ryan Preece and Brad Keselowski rounding out the top 5. But the day belonged to Bubba Wallace. He conquered the Brickyard and delivered a signature win for himself and 23 NASCAR Racing. It was a victory that would be remembered for years. While Bubba celebrated, Ty Gibbs claimed a huge win of his own. The 22-year-old won the inaugural NASCAR In-Season Challenge and its $1 million prize. Gibbs advanced through a 5-race tournament, beating top drivers to reach the final at Indy. He only needed to finish ahead of Ty Dillon in the Brickyard 400, and did, securing the bonus. Gibbs announced he'd donate $10,000 to a charity of Dillon's choice, showing true sportsmanship. The win proved Gibbs is a rising star with a bright future. The In-Season Challenge also spotlighted Ty Dillon's incredible underdog run. As the 32nd seed, few expected him to reach the final, but he stunned the field, upsetting top drivers like Denny Hamlin and Alex Bowman. Dillon's journey captured fans' hearts, proving anyone can compete with NASCAR's giants. His Cinderella story ended at the Brickyard after early damage left him 3 laps down. Despite finishing 28th, Dillon's run was a huge success. He brought excitement and respect to his team, showing heart and determination. Dillon's journey was one of the season's best stories, a reminder of racing's unpredictability. He may not have won the money, but he won the sport's respect. Bubba Wallace's Brickyard win was more than a single victory. It was a turning point. He secured his spot in the 2025 playoffs, freeing his team from points pressure. Now, they can focus on preparing for a championship run. The win is a massive confidence boost for Bubba, reaffirming his place among NASCAR's elite. For 23 inaugural Racing, it's proof their vision and investment are paying off. A Brickyard victory elevates the whole organization, attracting sponsors and talent. It fulfills the dream Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin had, to build a winning team that challenges NASCAR's best. This win is a stepping stone to even greater success. Bubba's story is about perseverance, never giving up, even when the road is long. The victory sends a powerful message. With hard work and belief, anything is possible. The future is bright for Bubba Wallace and 2311 Racing.